Some people in the real estate industry want to get rid of this one piece of real estate listing information, and it's not going to serve everybody. Hi, I'm John Whelan, otherwise known as Mr. Downtown Delray, and welcome back to my How's the Delray Beach Real Estate Market Update for November 2025. You know, real estate is constantly changing. In 2024, it was about the National Association of Realtors class action lawsuit that changed the way real estate agents get compensated. This year, it was about clear cooperation policy. I'll talk about that another time. And recently, a name-branded real estate brokerage is acquiring a huge real estate brokerage, and they want to do one thing. They want to get rid of the data reporting about how long it takes to sell real estate. I'll get into that in just a few minutes, but first, I want to talk about the three things we're going to speak about today. Number one, active listings continue to crash. Number two, the sold to list ratio remains weak. And number three, the time it takes to sell properties is getting longer again. So let's start with the first chart, active listings. Take a look. You can see here that since April of this year, which was the end of last high season, we're down almost 400 units or about 18%. And here's the thing to think about. As we start this high season, we're going into the strongest selling and buying season of the year. And we're starting it with less inventory than we had 6 months ago. And if you look further back, it's less inventory than we had 1 year ago. We need more supply. So the second thing we have to talk about is the sales to list ratio. Take a look at this chart. The big thing to note here is that over the last 1 year, this chart has remained below 90%. What that means is that if you listed your property for $500,000, you're going to sell it for less than $450,000, or a $1 million listing is going to sell for less than $900,000. Now, this is a clear indication that we still are in a buyer's market. Why? Because sellers are clearly not getting the price that they thought they were going to get. Hey, before I go any further, if you like this information and you think you're going to be buying or selling sooner than later, get my free weekly e-letter down below. I talk about all things Delray Beach. It comes out every Wednesday morning, and you know what? You might just find one little nugget in there that helps you make the decision. Now, here's the third chart, the days on market. You know how long it takes to sell a property? I got one word for you. Ouch. Look at this. You can see that a year ago, it was taking 80 days to sell a property. That's almost 3 months. That's not like fast. Now it's up 29% to 108 days. It's getting worse. One reason why that's happening is because sellers are still pricing their property too high, waiting for the market to come to them. Guess what? Just the reverse is needed. So days on market is that one data point that the executives of this brokerage want to eliminate. Why? They say that it hurts sellers. But what they want to do is create their own private listing network for all sellers who agree not to put their listing on the MLS, because when you do that, the clock starts ticking for days on the market. Instead, now that they have tens and tens of thousands of agents, they want to give their agents the first opportunity to sell the property before it goes out to the market. Well, guess who that serves? That serves the brokerage and not the consumers. This may or may not help sellers as it limits exposure of their listings in the marketplace. Think about it. They may be the largest brokerage in the US with about 300,000 agents. That's crazy. But what about the other 300 million people out there who won't be able to see their listing right away? And as for buyers, buyers won't be able to see everything that's available on the market because a lot of it will be behind a private listing wall. So this brokerage wants to basically help sellers by getting rid of the days on market, yet hurt buyers from being able to see everything that's out there for sale on the market. This makes no sense. I'm not done with days on market yet. Here's one chart that I haven't shown yet. You got to take a look at this. What strikes me here is that in the green section, it looks like a pie. There's 881 properties that sold in less than 30 days. That's almost 33% of the overall listings. Now that's a positive for sellers, the sellers who price their property the right way. But if you look at the 121 days and older group in red, almost 28% or 743 properties linger on the market. And my final chart is the big board chart. I've been showing this the last couple of months. There's two things that pop out that kind of scream, yeah, it's a buyer's market. Take a look at this. Number one, the median sales price on the right is negative on a year-over-year basis for the second month in a row. Last month I showed it, it was over 2%. The second thing is the collective days on the market on the bottom is up 24% year over year. So we're starting to see weakness or negative pricing. on the sold pricing data, as well as what? Higher days on the market to sell. It's still a buyer's market. I have some other big Delray Beach news. The Delray Beach Municipal Golf Course closed November 3rd, and they plan on taking the next year to renovate the entire facility. That's right, Delray Beach is going to be spending over $30 million to restore the course back to what it used to be when Donald Ross, the famous golf architect, designed it over 80 years ago. They're going to be redoing the golf course, the practice facility, driving range, the clubhouse, the pro shop, the whole thing. And it's going to take about a year. Of course, when they reopen, what's going to happen? Prices of green fees are most likely going to go up. But on the other side, this will become Delray's and probably South Florida's new premier public golf destination. See you next one.